Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing nets today, and I see my smiley face is malfunctioning. We are on page 603 in the book. We're going to be working on pages 603 and 604, and I'm going to show you a couple quick clips from videos that I found online because I really want you to see what a net looks like in terms of surface area. And then tomorrow, that's Wednesday in class, we'll have a lot of time to work with nets and calculate the surface area of figures using nets, like physical nets, okay? So what is surface area? So surface area has the same word area in it from our last unit, so it's still 2D. That's a really big idea there. We measure it in square units because it's 2D, okay? So if we unwrap something, that is going to give us surface area. So let's just take a quick look at the first video of somebody unwrapping something, okay? So take a quick look at this. Okay, so take a look at that picture. So what they did is they took a rectangular prism and they unfolded it. And so the front and the back are here. Oh, the front and the back are... Okay, so this is the net that we were looking at in the video. Okay, so we got the front and the back. We've got the left side and the right side, and then we've got the bottom and the top. Okay, obviously I know I duplicated some letters, but this idea that we unfolded it. Okay, we're going to do another one of these animations just a little later on. But first, let's take a look at the first problem on page 603. So try to visualize what this rectangular prism looks like when we unfold it. So it says first, draw a net on centimeter grid paper, cut out the net, fold the net, and then count the unit squares on the face of the net. Okay, so we have, we have the dimensions of 4 by 6 by 8. Okay, so this top piece is 6 by 8, and we're going to start with that when we scroll down to our grid paper. Okay, so I'm just going to go six boxes down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 boxes out. Okay, count those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's 6 by 8. Okay, now let's take a look at the top and the bottom. Okay, so this face over here is 4 by 6, and it is physically attached to the 6 by 8. Okay, so you're going to start to notice that in rectangular prisms, right, we're going to have a lot of parallel congruent bases. So these are those two sides that were 4 by 6. Now, what is next to this red 6 by 8? Well, let's take a look. On either side, we have this sort of front and back piece that is 8 long, and it's actually 4 tall. You see how this edge here is 4. Let's highlight it. Well, this edge here is also 4. Okay, so if we scroll down, then we've got a 4 by 8 on each side. Just make sure that that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes a little over because it's a highlighter, not a pen. Okay, and so we've got a 4 by 8, and we can enclose that with pen if we want it to be super precise. Okay, and now we're just missing one piece, which is the bottom parallel base to this original red main base, and that is going to be 6 by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and now we're really good with area of a rectangle. So you can all tell me that this 4 by 8 side is 32 square units. We have to check with the actual original units. And this is 32 square units. These 6 by 8s are each in red 48 square units. And these green ones are 4 by 6. So they're each 24 square units. Okay, so let's go back up and add. You will notice, obviously we're not counting, right? But you will notice that if we add these up, we have 48 and 48, we have 32 and 32, and we have 24 and 24. So that makes it 96 and 64 and 48. 96 and 64 is 160 and 48. So our total surface area is going to be 208. And what was the units? Square centimeters. Okay? So you're going to have plenty of opportunity to practice that and sort of see the physical ones. Okay? So let's go. In terms of explaining, I did say yesterday, to a whole pile of fine human beings in class that it's really important to actually write it out, and you guys pointed out that I don't always write it out in the video, so let's type it out. So for number 1, how did I use the net to find the surface area of the box? I made sure my net had all 6 faces of the rectangular prism. I calculated the area of each face separately and then added the 6 pieces together to get the surface area. Okay, how could I find the area of each face of the prism without counting unit squares on the net? Well, that's sort of an easy answer because I can multiply. We already did that, right? I can multiply to find the area instead of counting, right? You guys know that I did 4 times 8. I didn't do 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's page 303. That is page 303. So we are on, 603. We are on to page 604, and it goes to area of a rectangle formula. I just want to show you, I'll show you one more in a little bit. So it's got the exact same net, okay? And the big thing here is that they're trying to get you to make sure you label things properly, okay? So for example, this is 4 centimeters, and this is 6 centimeters, and this is 6 centimeters, and this is 8 centimeters. Okay, and A and E are both 4 by 8, right? Because if they're not congruent opposite sides, then they don't close, right? And then this last one here is F, which is congruent to C, that parallel base. So this is 6 centimeters. Okay, so then we find the area of a rectangle by multiplying the rectangle's length times its width. Okay, so we're doing the same problem again, and that's actually going to work pretty well for us because those of you who skip this part because you understand it, I won't be able to tell the difference if you fill in the numbers. Oh, I didn't say that out loud, did I? And those of you who need an extra going over, well, that's what we're doing. So if we look up at face B, once we've labeled it, right, 4 by 6, that's going to have to be 24. And E and B are congruent, like I said before. And then C and F are the ones that are 48, as you can see. It's the biggest one. And those are the ones that we did 6 times 8 equals 48. Okay, and then we add up all the pieces. And we got, for a total surface area, what did we get? We got 208, right? 208 square centimeters. Yep. We got 208 square centimeters. Okay. There's 208. Let's clean that up. Okay. So identify any prism faces that have equal areas. How could you use that fact to simplify the process of finding the surface area? Okay. So one of the big takeaways is that because rectangle prisms are sort of rectangular prisms 3 ways, there are 3, this is question number 3. There are 3 sets of parallel faces in a rectangular prism. We can calculate the area of the 3 unique sides and multiply by 2 since each parallel face is congruent to each face is congruent to its parallel face, right? The one that it's sitting opposite. Okay? So the front is congruent to the back, the left is congruent to the right, and the top is congruent to the bottom. Now, how could we find the surface area of a cube? So for that, we have one more cute animation, which is this video, and I think you can't hear this lady, but she's actually drawing on a physical cube, and she's about to go net. So she's got a cube. See that yellow thing? And now she's replacing it with that blue cube. Okay, so you can see her net, and you probably couldn't hear her voice at all, but let's take a quick picture of this. And if you notice, the really unique thing about a cube is everything I said before is true about it, but we also can add the fact that a cube has actually 6 congruent sides, right? Because it's the same all the way around. We can find the area of one side. Actually, we should go back and we should write the word faces because that's the proper term. We can find the area of one face and multiply by 6. Now, if we wanted to do this the rectangular prism way, we could do front and back are the same, top and bottom are the same, left and right are the same, but those would all be the same as each other. So that's nice and easy for us to do, nice and straightforward. Okay. So for example, let's just super quickly imagine, say the side length is 4 inches. Well then, if the side length is 4 inches, each face is 16 square inches, right? Right? Of course, right. So there are 6 congruent sides. So 6 times 16. And we know that 6 times 16 is 60 plus 36 is 96 square inches. Okay, so in class tomorrow, we'll do lots more with lots of nets. Have a great night.